Bruce Willis became one of the most recognizable faces in modern cinema, transforming himself from a struggling New York actor into an international superstar. His performances in Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, Armageddon, and The Sixth Sense made him synonymous with both action and emotional depth. Yet his greatest story extends beyond the screen. Behind the fame and fortune was a man shaped by a difficult childhood, persistence, family responsibilities, and later health challenges. His journey reflects the complicated price of success, showing that wealth and recognition cannot replace time with loved ones. Today, his legacy is defined as much by his humanity as by his career. Humble beginnings and a difficult childhood. Bruce Willis was born in Germany on March 19, 1955, but his family moved to New Jersey when he was very young. His father worked physically demanding jobs, while his mother worked to support the family and maintain stability at home. Growing up as the eldest of 4 children meant Bruce learned responsibility early. His childhood was modest, and financial pressure contributed to a difficult family environment. One of his most significant personal challenges was a stutter, which made communication uncomfortable and affected his confidence. For a child who would eventually become famous for his distinctive voice and quick dialogue, speaking was once a source of anxiety. Those early experiences, however, helped shape the determination, resilience, and toughness that later became central to his personality and career. Finding confidence through theater. At around 17, Bruce discovered that acting could give him something he struggled to find in everyday life: confidence in his own voice. High school theater became a refuge where his stutter seemed to disappear and communication felt natural. Performing in front of others allowed him to experience freedom rather than embarrassment, and the stage gradually transformed the way he saw himself. Acting was no longer simply an extracurricular activity, it became a path toward self-discovery. The confidence he gained through theater encouraged him to consider acting as a profession, despite the uncertainty involved. His experience demonstrates how a difficult personal obstacle can sometimes lead someone toward an unexpected strength. For Bruce, the stage did more than introduce him to acting. It helped him discover an identity that would eventually carry him to Hollywood: the struggle to become an actor. In the early 1970s, Bruce moved to New York City to pursue acting, entering an industry where rejection was part of everyday life. He worked as a bartender while attending auditions and trying to establish himself professionally. The contrast between his modest working life and his ambitions was enormous, but he continued moving forward. Bartending also gave him valuable experience with people, conversation, humor, timing, and reading a room. These qualities would later become important elements of his screen presence. Bruce did not begin his career as a polished Hollywood leading man. He had to develop his skills through persistence and experience, gradually learning how to turn his natural personality into a professional advantage. His early years in New York showed that his eventual success was not immediate or guaranteed, but built through patience and repeated efforts despite setbacks. Moonlighting and the rise of a star. Bruce's major breakthrough arrived in 1985 when he was cast as David Addison in the television series Moonlighting. His relaxed charm, humor, unpredictability, and strong comedic timing made him stand out from the more conventional image of a television leading man. Audiences quickly connected with his personality, and the series turned him into a household name. Moonlighting demonstrated that Bruce could carry a production through charisma and wit, rather than relying solely on traditional dramatic acting. The experience also prepared him for the demands of Hollywood, giving him greater visibility and confidence. His success on television eventually opened the door to much larger opportunities in film. The journey from bartender and struggling actor to television star illustrated how his willingness to remain authentic became one of his greatest professional strengths. Becoming an icon of action cinema, Bruce Willis reached another level of fame with Die Hard, a film that helped redefine the modern action hero. Instead of portraying an invincible figure who seemed untouched by danger, Bruce brought vulnerability, humor, frustration, and humanity to John McClane. That combination made the character relatable and helped establish Bruce as a major movie star. His later performances in films such as Pulp Fiction, Armageddon, and The Sixth Sense showed that his talents extended well beyond action. He could move between comedy, drama, suspense, and emotionally complex roles while maintaining a distinctive screen presence. Over the years, his performances reached audiences around the world and created a career built on versatility as much as celebrity. His greatest characters often felt human because Bruce allowed toughness and vulnerability to exist together. Family, marriage, and fatherhood. Away from Hollywood, family became one of the most important parts of Bruce's identity. His marriage to Demi in the late 1980s attracted enormous public attention, and together they raised 3 daughters. Although their marriage eventually ended in 2000, Bruce and Demi remained connected through their children. Their continued commitment to co-parenting reflected an effort to place family above personal differences. Bruce later built another family life with Emma Willis, and his daughters remained an important part of his world. Despite the demands of filming, publicity, and celebrity, fatherhood was repeatedly portrayed as one of the roles he valued most deeply. His family life also revealed a more private side of a man whose professional career often placed him in the public eye. For Bruce, success was ultimately meaningful when it could be shared with the people he loved. The personal cost of fame. Bruce's enormous professional success came with sacrifices that are difficult to measure financially. Long filming schedules, travel, public appearances, and the constant demands of celebrity can take people away from ordinary family experiences. The wealth associated with a successful acting career could provide comfort and opportunity, but it could not restore missed moments or replace personal presence. This became an important theme in reflections about Bruce's life, the realization that time is more valuable than money. Fame can create a strange contradiction, surrounding someone with attention while simultaneously making genuine private moments harder to find. His experience illustrates that achievement does not automatically produce fulfillment. Careers can provide recognition, security, and influence, but relationships require time and attention. The quiet moments with family, often overlooked during periods of ambition, can ultimately become the memories people value most. A life-changing health challenge. In 2022, Bruce's family announced that he was stepping away from acting after receiving a diagnosis of aphasia, a condition that can affect communication and language. In 2023, the family shared that his condition had been identified as frontotemporal dementia, a progressive neurological disorder. The news was especially poignant because Bruce had built much of his career around communication, dialogue, expression, and a commanding screen presence. His health challenges marked a profound change in the life of someone who had spent decades working in front of cameras. Through this difficult period, his family became a central source of care and support. His wife, children, and former wife Demi have publicly demonstrated a strong sense of family unity around him. Their response emphasizes that love and presence can remain meaningful even when illness changes the ways people communicate. Fortune, generosity, and lasting legacy. Bruce Willis accumulated substantial wealth through decades of successful films, television work, and other professional ventures, with public estimates often placing his fortune in the hundreds of millions of dollars. However, financial success represents only one part of his legacy. His career influenced generations of movie audiences and helped establish a style of action hero that combined toughness with humor and vulnerability. Beyond entertainment, the broader story of his life highlights the importance of generosity, family, perseverance, and compassion. His journey from a modest childhood and uncertain acting career to international fame demonstrates what determination can accomplish. Yet his later experiences also reveal the limits of money and celebrity. A fortune can provide comfort, but it cannot purchase health, restore lost time, or replace genuine relationships. Bruce's most meaningful legacy, therefore, lies in the people he inspired and the family that continues to stand beside him. The legacy of a life fully lived. Bruce Willis's story ultimately extends far beyond the explosions, famous characters, awards, and box office success that defined his professional career. He began as a young man facing financial uncertainty, family pressures, and a speech difficulty, then discovered through theater that he could transform those challenges into confidence. He endured rejection, built a career from the ground up, became a television favorite, and eventually developed into one of Hollywood's most recognizable leading men. His personal life brought marriage, fatherhood, separation, reconciliation, and the responsibilities of maintaining close family relationships amid enormous public attention. His health challenges later changed his life in ways no amount of fame could prevent. Through it all, the central lessons of his story remain simple. Perseverance matters, family matters, and time is precious. Bruce Willis's enduring legacy is not merely the wealth he accumulated or the movies he made, but the human connection he created with audiences and the love surrounding him in his most difficult years.